Coaching Derbyshire aims to increase the number of active coaches and also raise the standards of coaching. Today is part of our ongoing commitment to this. Today's conference will focus on developing talent and giving our athletes the best possible chance of success.
What I'd like to do over the course of the next half an hour or so is outline the argument that is contained in Bounce that was kindly mentioned. It's an argument about the nature and construction of world-class performance. So where does world-class performance come from? Well, I want to submit to you this morning that the explanation for world-class performance in any activity which is complex, and I'll define complexity as I go along, is pretty much the same. So the same for chess, for mathematics, for football, for table tennis, for badminton, for hockey, and so on. And I'd like to take aim right at the outset at the seductive and rather pervasive idea in the world today that world-class performance is available only to those who have natural talent. That you have a certain group of people who are born with the right set of gifts or aptitudes, or in the scientific language, the right kind of genetic inheritance that enables them to excel. And on the other hand, you have a group of people who are rather less fortunate, who lack that genetic inheritance, and by implication are destined at best for mediocrity. Now, this idea is a cornerstone of Western culture. It is very prevalent in coaching and in teaching more generally. But I would like to argue today that it is at best misleading and at worst highly destructive. Destructive for the young people who buy into it, and that is very many of them, and corrosive of the institutions, whether sports clubs or schools or businesses that construct their culture upon it. If you test top tennis players on a neutral test of reaction, a red light goes on and you have to press a button as fast as possible, they're no faster on average than the average person in this room. When commentators say they have superior reactions, it's just a complete nonsense. It's nothing to do with eyesight either, superior vision, either peripheral vision or stereoscopic depth. What it has to do with is years of high-quality, self-motivated practice. And over a long period of time, top tennis players develop what's sometimes called a perceptual cognitive repertoire that enable them to look at an opponent and see meaning that is invisible to those who haven't undergone that transformative process of high-quality practice.
I honestly can't think of a better keynote speaker to address coaches, and particular coaches within a geographic location. To hear him talk about this and to talk about how important practice is just really inspiring. So it was a great opening session, and I really think it set the tone for a really good day.
The Derbyshire Sport Coaches Conference is a great opportunity for our coaches in Derbyshire and actually wider afield this time. And it's somewhat unique that we've got the opportunity to really listen and engage and work alongside some of the leaders in their field in a number of specialist sports science subjects and other coaches as well. So it's really great for coaches to get together, share ideas, check and challenge, and really examine what they're doing in their sport as a whole. And I think we're really creating something quite special with this conference, and it's really encouraging to see the level of coaches that we're attracting.
I was at one of the long sessions, the long workshop, and it was about becoming a winner. It was really about looking at different personalities within sport and who you're coaching, how the coaches can be from different personalities, but the athletes as well, and how we can pull the best out from both.
I did one session today. I did it twice, kind of a longer workshop with the coaching cohort, which was basically around personality, how to understand their own personality preferences, but then importantly how to understand their athletes' personalities and then how they can adapt and connect with them. I think the benefits of that is that we realise that we all kind of see the world very, very differently. So the whole aim of this really is, yes, to understand yourself better, yes, to understand your athlete better, but ultimately help your athlete learn as quickly as possible so they can get to kind of the world-class stage that they all want to get to.
Today's conference is all about the coaches and developing coaches who ultimately work with our talented athletes in Derbyshire. We are trying to make Derbyshire world class and develop our athletes, so the best place to start is with the coaches and giving them the tools to be able to do that. Coaching Derbyshire offers quite a few things really. We have our central database where coaches register and they get information and news about coaching, about up-to-date courses that we offer. We put on generic coach education courses. We also offer bursaries to support coaches in their qualifications and continued development as well.
I think these events are fantastic. As a coach myself, I've always learned the most through speaking and working with other coaches and really getting out there and finding ways to learn more. So looking at the subject content today, I think it's absolutely perfect for coaches of all levels in the county, and it's an ideal opportunity to network and get to know new people or catch up with people we don't get to see too often, because as coaches we all run very busy lives. Especially from my point of view, I work at the top of a performance pyramid in the county, and in order for me to get talented athletes coming through, it's absolutely key that at the grassroots and club level that coaches are sort of upskilling and learning new things that they can implement for their swimmers, because ultimately if those coaches aren't doing a good job, then it cuts off the talent through to me. So by running events like this and getting a chance to get a room full of coaches together, we can really ensure that everybody's learning off each other. So my workshop today, I've been asked to run a swimming masterclass, and what I'm trying to get across as well is some information that I get through being on national and international teams, and sort of trying to impart some of that to the coaches and share information.
My first coach was Peter Herity, who's a long-standing coach in the Notts Junior Badminton Leagues. I've written the hardest job here because certainly I've just started coaching juniors, and I think I'm always really apologetic when I meet Peter now, because he always said, my dad always went to him at the end of the session and the only question he ever asked him was, how much effort did Nathan put in today? And his maximum answer was only 80%. And as a coach now, you know, my minimum requirement for the children I coach is they at least put 100% effort in. So I feel very sorry for him, and he's the nicest man you'll ever meet. So for me, it's really hard to meet him now because I always apologise to him.
And I think all three coaches were right at the right time. I had someone at the start that really believed in me, that really wanted it to happen, and probably had more belief than I did. Somebody in the middle that really instilled that work ethic, and somebody at the end that was able to really probably dot the I's, cross the T's to make my dreams come true of competing at home Olympics. So my three kind of fundamental coaches along the way. There has been a couple either side of that and one in the middle, but they're the ones that really spent a vast amount of time with.
I came to it last year and I just thought it was a fascinating day. I think this is such an important thing. All coaches from all different sports to get together, so we do understand that we all face the same problems, whatever that sport might be.
It's all been very good. I had a really good seminar on personality traits of different people fitting into different molds that were all not particularly in one, but we're all a mixture of other, but we've got our own preference of where we like to sit. But what I'd like to take back is we're running in Bolsover district a talent camp where we've identified through a process of testing a group of 15 boys, 15 girls from all of the Bolsover primary schools in year 5 and 6. And I want to take away that part of it, that the talent that we've identified has got to be partnered with the hard work and determination if those children are going to achieve their potential.